What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Octagon Jordan. We are here to break down UFC 311. We are finally back to pay-per-views! Yes! Yes! Finally! We're back to pay-per-views. UFC 311 in LA, headlined by Islam Makhachev, Arman Tsarukyan. Boy, do we have a doozy of a card here. I'm going to break down the entire thing, give you every single one of my picks and predictions on the card, the Oct-J Parlay. And I am so fucking ecstatic to have a pay-per-view back in our lives, boys. Let's fucking go. It deserves a chug. It deserves a motherfucking good luck chug. Why not? Down the hatch. So we got a great card on tap. Like I said, I'm going to give you my picks and predictions for every fight. We got the double championship scraps. The double championship scraps were coming out of the gate hot, 2025. Everything on the line, all the gold on the line in LA, the home of Kobe Bryant. And I got the fucking gear on, and we're ready to rock. So I'm going to actually start with the semi-exciting fights. I'll do these ones here at the end to Karol and Bekoev, Ricky Tercios, all the, if you want to hear my analysis on those fights, you're going to have to wait till the end. I'm going to start right here with Karol Rosas against Allin Perez, the twerker herself. Oh, baby. Boy, does she have a butterface. Thank God for her that she has a nice, juicy ass, because that thing is plump. Ask Merab He was he was getting amped up Georgia style, doing the Georgia fucking shuffle. Oh, can I touch? Aljo, come check this out, Aljo. Hey, neighbor Aljo, can I touch? Can we both touch? Can we get naked together? Yeah. Oh. He was really fucking with that ass, so he loves it. Karol Rosas on the other side, she's had some great fights in the UFC. We know her from her fight against Irene Aldana. What a war it was for a women's MMA fight. A WMMA fight. Jesus, go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. Leg kicks galore. The women were punching back and forth, blow for blow, shot for shot, eating shots, taking damage to the body, bloodying each other up, bruising each other's thighs, bruising each other's calves. Karol Rosa is one of the toughest females I've seen in the division. I've been impressed with her a couple of different fights that she's had. Obviously, she's had a few stinkers, but I've been impressed with a couple of fights that she's had. Like I said, obviously starting with the Irene Aldana fight, amazing. Allin Perez, she's been surprising me. I mean, she teabagged that one chick, twerked in her face, booty cheeks, booty hole right in the nose. Completely disrespectful. But, hey, if that's your shtick, you got to roll with it. Colby Covington doesn't care about disrespect. Why would Allin Perez? She's got the butterface. Use your assets out there. Can I touch? Aljo. But she's actually a good fighter. She shows good technique. She's tough, good defense. Doesn't really get hit that much. Doesn't get rocked too much. Good on the ground. Good submission. She won her last couple fights by submission. And she's got really good defense. She doesn't really get hit too much. So, I mean, this one, I'm a really big fan of both ladies. More so a fan of Karol Rosa. Just the war she put on with Aldana, multiple fights she had before that in the UFC. I've always been a fan of her. I think that she has some potential. But Allin Perez, she surprises. Her last fight I thought was kind of going to be a 50-50 back and forth. Well, hey, that wasn't the case. Allin Perez dominated that one. So, Karol Rosa, she is tough. She's got great striking. I just think Allin Perez has more ways to win this fight. She's the better grappler of the two. I think she's more well-rounded. She's taken less damage over her career. She's got better defense. I don't see her getting a stoppage here. I think Karol Rosa is very tough. I don't see her getting knocked out. Don't really see her getting submitted. But I think Allin Perez just has too many ways to win. She's riding high. She's younger. She hasn't taken much damage. So I'm going Allin, big fat booty cheeks, Merab. Can I touch? Perez. Next fight, this will be a quick one. It was supposed to be Zachary Reese against Cedriques Damas. But, he fell off with an injury. Maybe his eye was still hurting him from that Ruziboyev fight. But anyway, we have Azamat Bekoev here. which I've actually heard a good amount on social media. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't watch any of his tape, but I've seen some highlights on Twitter, X, whatever you want to say. So people are amping this guy up. Some people are really amping this guy up. Supposedly he had some vicious knockouts on the regional scene. Really tough guy, but, who's he fighting out there? Is he fighting the best of the best? Is he in the UFC? No. So it's hard to tell. Zachary Reese, we know what we're getting. Very tenacious, good finisher, good power. Like I said, tenacious, scrapper, going to be in your face, going to be in the fight, going to be going balls to the wall 100% the entire time, not going to give up on himself. You got to put him out cold. I think Zachary Reese here is riding high. He's won 2 fights in a row. And, he's been training for this date. He's ready to cut weight. Azamat Makhachev, who knows what he's been up to. Obviously, he took this short notice. He might miss weight. We don't really know. He seems one-dimensional, the highlights I've seen. Seems like a striker, kind of a beefy, kind of Vitor Petrino type of guy where there's openings there. There's openings to knock him out. There's openings to take him down. I think Zachary Reese has the tenacity, has the techniques, and has the options at his disposal to get it done. Going Zachary Reese here. Probably we'll go submission. Zachary Reese submission. Grant Dawson against Carlos Diego Ferreira. Oh, man, the great scrap here. I do not agree with the odds. They got Grant Dawson at minus 265 against plus 215 for Carlos Diego Ferreira. Carlos Diego Ferreira is having a surge in the later half of his career here. A second win, some might say. A Jorge Masvidal-esque. The KO against Michael Johnson was just vicious, memorable, brutal. Absolutely brutal. And, he's had some wonky losses. The loss against Mateusz Gamrot where he broke a rib, the knee to the back. That was kind of fucking weird. He had another weird one against Dariush where it was a scramblers, grappler matchup. Both guys were spinning like a top. Both guys were reversing one another. Both guys looked pretty fucking great, in my opinion. Neither guy did a ton of damage. Could have really gone either way, and we saw Dariush get up to the top 5 of the lightweight division, so we know where Carlos Diego Ferreira's level is. He beat Mateusz Rebecki, who just beat Olobai, and he completely demolished Rebecki, made him blind in both eyes temporarily, fucking swelling up the orbitals, really putting it on Rebecki. I think he TKO'd him. If he didn't TKO him, he fucking pounded his bitch ass and beat the shit out of him for all 3 rounds. He completely fucked up Rebecki, who's a bowling ball, a smasher himself, an annihilator himself. He put the fucking gas on Rebecki. And Grant Dawson, obviously a great grappler. We saw that against Damir Ismagulov, as my guru likes to say, Ismagulov. But then we saw the Bobby Green. I've watched it a few times. He got KO'd from a jab. It wasn't really a super power jab. We see a lot of power jabs out of Khalil Roundtree, Alex Poatan-Pereira, Kamaru Usman. We just saw some on this past card. Multiple people are using the power jab, especially that one fight when it was southpaw. I forget exactly. I think Chris Curtis, Roman Kopylov was using the power jab really effectively. And that's what got Grant Dawson. So I'm not really too sure about his chin. Obviously, we know he's a grappler. We know he loves to take the back. We know he likes to do the ground and pound, the full mount. He just did that against Rafa Garcia. Looked great. Fucked Garcia's bitch ass up. Destroyed him. Gave him a massive scar on his forehead. Bloodied all over the canvas. Dominated. Great performance against an unranked guy. That's what you got to see out of Grant Dawson. Someone who's trying to be on the rise, trying to be up there with the upper echelon. But we know the weakness in Grant Dawson's game. I mean, his striking isn't all there, and his chin, the Bobby Green jab wasn't that hard. Tony Ferguson took about 20 of those at age 40. Washed up Tony Ferguson. Ate about 20 of those motherfuckers at age 40. And Grant Dawson curled up like a roly-poly after one in a main event, his first main event ever. We haven't seen that out of Carlos Diego Ferreira. We've seen dog mentality, dog fucking energy out of Diego Ferreira. The KO of Michael Johnson was absolutely vicious. Oh, my God, fucking plywood. Ding, and then he cradled him like a little rock-a-bye baby in the treetops. Go to sleep, Michael, the pain never stops. I'm going to KO you like Josh Emmett and everyone else. Yeah, Michael Johnson. He's a clown. Anyway, the pick here, I'm going Carlos Diego Ferreira. I think he's more of a dog. He's more of a savage. He's better on the feet. He's KO'd people in the UFC. We've seen that. High-level guys. Michael Johnson KO'd. He's great on the ground. We've seen that. Beniel Dariush. And I just think he's getting his second win in his career. Obviously, Grant Dawson's riding high off the Rafa Garcia win. But I'm going Diego Ferreira. I'm going the veteran here. I think he's more of a dog. I think he's got more ways to win, and I think he's going to pull off the upset. Plus 215. The first leg of the Oct-J Parlay. Turn up and tune in, baby. Down the hedge. Next fight. Bogdan Guskov against Billy Elekana. Damn, I'm bummed out about this one, guys. This was supposed to be Bogdan Guskov against Johnny Walker, the fucking heavy bag, the meme, the cartoon character himself, Johnny Walker. The only question I had was, how is Johnny Walker going to get KO'd this time? Is it going to be up against a fence, uppercut, over the top, head kick, ground and pound, elbows, nose broken, busted, bleeding all over the octagon? We've seen the Magomed Ankalaev knockout. We've seen the Volkan Oezdemir knockout. We've seen the Jamahal Hill knockout. We've seen all these knockouts. We've seen the Corey Anderson knockout. I wanted a Bogdan Guskov meme knockout. Is that too much to fucking ask? But the MMA gods had different plans. Johnny Walker supposedly got injured 1 week out. Looks fine. Still posting on social media. But hey, whatever. Maybe a shoulder thing. Maybe a muscle thing. Who knows? Anyway, his dumb, weird-looking ass is off the card. And we got Billy Elekana. I know Billy Elekana fought in PFL. I looked at his record. It's a so-so record. He's beat some cans. He's lost a couple close decisions. Doesn't seem like he has the most finishing ability. His losses were to guys that aren't very elite, PFL guys that are kind of no-names. Bogdan Guskov, he's riding high right now. He's coming off that KO of that guy that came off The Ultimate Fighter. I bet the guy, I'm forgetting his name right now. We all know who I'm talking about. The guy that Muhammad Usman knocked out on The Ultimate Fighter finale. Bogdan Guskov, I think he has another win after that. He's full of momentum. He's ranked now. We've only seen him lose to Volkan Oezdemir. No shame there. Oezdemir is a powerhouse, a dog, a beast, strong as an ox. And I don't think Billy Elekana, coming in on 4 days' notice from his PFL losses, is going to have anything for Bogdan Guskov. These odds definitely cannot be right. This must have been the Johnny Walker shit. If these odds are right, we're going Bogdan Guskov the fucking house. If these odds are correct, are these odds fucking correct? Does anybody know? Plus 130 for Guskov, minus 162 for Elekana. That can't be right. Anyway, if that is right, $1,000 Guskov, $2,000 Guskov, whatever you want to do. Guskov's winning this fight. He's stronger. He's more of a dog. He's more vicious, more experienced. He's going to beat Billy Elekana. Next up, let me just make sure everything's working properly. Yes, it is. Jailton Almeida. This guy's still on the roster. Oh, I thought we traded him to PFL. Fuck. Anyway, Sergey Spivak, Jailton Almeida, the battle of the blankets. Who's it going to be? Guarantee there won't be a KO in this fight. If there's a prop bet on FanDuel, DraftKings, no KO. I don't care if it's minus 500. Bet 5,000 on it. You could still win 1,000 or 100, however that math pans out. There's no KO coming in this fight. Unless it's a TKO, which is not going to come from Jailton Almeida because we know he's not vicious. He's got some good jiu-jitsu. He has no dog in him. He has no ground and pound in him. We saw that in the Derek Lewis 5-round decision. We saw that in the Curtis Blades when he took down Curtis Blades 9, 10, 11 times and did no damage, threatened no submissions. Sergey Spivak's kind of similar. The guy's slow as fuck. The slowest motherfucker in the UFC. The slowest. I dare you to find somebody slower than Sergey Spivak throwing punches. I don't think he's ever connected on any punch that I've ever witnessed. He's decent with the takedowns. Submitted Derek Lewis. Submitted Marcin Tybura. Those are two solid wins. Derek Lewis, former title challenger. Tybura coming off wins of Tuivasa and other people. So Spivak, he's got some skills. He's a big dude. He loves to grapple. It's going to be a grappler's matchup. Again, there's not going to be a KO here. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Jailton Almeida is more muscular of the two, but he's also weighs less. So, how much energy is he going to want to expend? Similar to that Curtis Blades matchup where he took him down 7-8 times with no damage. Curtis Blades was still fresh, just kind of flowing, flopping around, doing somersaults, wasting no energy until he could hammer fist his fucking skull into the canvas. Fuck you, motherfucker! Yeah, I mean, this one's... I don't know. Both guys are just lackluster. They do nothing for me. They don't move the needle. I'm going to go Jailton Almeida here. I think he's going to be stronger than Spivak. Maybe win by decision. It's only a 3-round fight. I don't see him submitting Sergey Spivak. I think Spivak's pretty good, pretty formidable on the ground, jiu-jitsu. But I see Almeida taking control with the wrestling, getting top control, similar to that Derek Lewis fight. I think this one's going to be a snoozer, bathroom break alert. Go make some food. Go run to the pizza shop. Grab some wings. Grab some extra brew if you didn't buy enough. Go have some sex, whatever the fuck. This one's going to be a snoozer. But I'm going Almeida. Here we go. Payton Talbott against Rony Barcelos. Finally, we get the return of Payton Talbott. This guy is a great prospect. I watched him on the Dana White's Contender Series. He looked amazing. The guy who was fighting on Contender Series was backing up the whole time, not really trying to engage. So it was difficult for Talbott to really have an impressive, KO performance. The guy who was fighting at the time didn't really want to have that back and forth Justin Gaethje type war. Kept circling, Alexander Rakic, Magomed Ankalaev, circle, stay away, lose by decision. So it wasn't the most impressive. He came in, he fought some scrub in the UFC. Again, got taken down. The scrub he fought had a little bit of top control. And, again, not the most impressive. Touched the guy up with some punches, clearly won the decision. And then he fights Cameron Simon. Someone who, a lot of people are high on. Dricus du Plessis' protege. MMA Guru loves Cameron Simon. Did a fucking podcast with the guy. Everyone was like, oh, this guy's undefeated. Cameron Simon, he's so fast, he's so quick. The battle of the prospects, who's going to come out on top? Well, hey, newsflash, Payton Talbott absolutely fucking killed Cameron Simon, and we haven't even seen the motherfucker since. I know, it seemed like we haven't seen Payton Talbott in forever, because we haven't. His last win was against Giannis Gamori, fucking whatever pay-per-view that was. Go look it up. I think UFC 303, July last year. We haven't seen Talbot in 9 months. Whatever happened to Cameron Simon? Is he still, he got his ass whooped. Fucking crushed. That was, fucking life-changing beating. And Cameron Simon was still young at the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had some lingering health issues and just trying to sort out, hey, what's my next step here? Because he got his shit fucked up in that one. And Rony Barcelos, a journeyman kind of, Jorge Masvidal-esque, has a couple wins, beat Christian Quiones just recently, but who's Christian Quiones? Is he doing anything? Is he making any noise? I don't think so. He asked 90% of the fans are not going to know who that motherfucker is. Umar Nurmagomedov obviously knocked this guy the hell out. Plywood, stiff as a board. Oh, shit. Can you hear me? Am I good? Sorry, boys. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? All right. Hold on. Technical difficulties. All right, we're back. Anyway, Umar Nurmagomedov knocked Rony Barcelos the fuck out. Kyler Phillips stunting on him. Kyler Phillips, I feel like Payton Talbott is a more well-rounded Kyler Phillips. You know what I'm saying? Has the athleticism, has the speed, has the techniques, has the kicks, has the punches, has the spinning back fist, has the ground and pound, has the grappling ability. Well, more grappling ability than Kyler Phillips has. Same quickness, same athleticism, but he's smarter than Kyler Phillips, better gas tank than Kyler Phillips, and more potent finishing ability than Kyler Phillips. And Kyler Phillips, easily won a decision against Rony Barcelos. Rony Barcelos, I think he's 37, 38 years old. It's a pawn. It's a stepping stone for Payton Talbott. There's no chance for Rony Barcelos. If he lost to Kyler Phillips, he is not going to beat Payton Talbott at all. Payton Talbott has way more finishing ability, as I just said a second ago. He's younger. He's more versatile. And he just got more, tools in the toolbox than Kyler Phillips. Better gas tank as well. And I think he's going to put it on Rony Barcelos. I think he's going to fuck his ass up. I think Hony Barcelos is going to be unrecognizable. I think he stays in there. I think he hangs tough. I'm thinking maybe late second round, early to mid third round TKO. I don't think Hony Barcelos goes out cold. I think it's a kind of a ref, mercy call. But Payton Talbott, I mean, the guy looks like the real deal. He fights like the real deal. He's got athleticism. He's got technique. He's got confidence. And he's got the resume so far of who he's been beating. And he's been dominating him. Giannis Gamori, he should knock that guy out in the first 10 seconds. And he does. Cameron Simon, another hyped-up prospect. It should kind of be a back and forth. Well, it's not. He destroys him. So I believe in the Payton Talbott hype. Am I going to lay minus 1,200? No. I'm probably going to go TKO, maybe third round TKO. Kevin Holland, Trailblazer! Trailblazer! Hey, must have got Dana White some new sneakers, baby, because this motherfucker keeps finding himself on main cards. I don't know what he's doing. Dana White privilege? Dana Black privilege. Because this guy finds himself on every pay-per-view main card. He fought Mikhail Olashashik on a pay-per-view main card. Kevin Holland, Mikhail Olashashik. Half of you probably don't even know who the fuck Mikhail Olashashik is. He fought Roman Dolidze on a main card. Roman Dolidze. And lost via injury. He lost his last fight to Roman Dolidze via injury. A boring snoozer ended in the first round. Now he gets another pay-per-view main card spot. Fucking fighters, take notes. This is how you suck up to your... Everybody take notes. Anyone who's anyone working in the corporate world, sales, finance, business, marketing, accounting, whatever the fuck, take notes from Kevin Holland. Buy your boss some sneakers, suck his balls, shake his hand, have a conversation every single time, go out to dinner with the guy. Whatever Kevin Holland's doing, it's working for him, okay? His fights, he's not always winning. Lost to Roman Dolidze, lost to Bellator Michael Venom Page, got dropped by Mikhail Olashashik. It hasn't been the best run for our boy Kevin Holland here, but somehow he finds himself on a pay-per-view main card yet again, fighting another promotions champion, similar to MVP, interim champion of Bellator. We got Reinier de Ritter, whatever the fuck. Wiener the Diddler. We got Wiener the Diddler against Kevin Holland. Wiener the Diddler comes from one championship. He's a two-weight champion, and he fought GM3 in his first fight. A lot of people are talking shit on this performance. I didn't hate the performance. Yeah, the guy looked clumsy as shit. Yes, he looked like a kid in high school who just hit a growth spurt and doesn't, he's not sure how big his body is, or he's got the wrong shoe size on and stumbling and fumbling and bumbling in gym class and, hitting his head on the fucking door and smacking into shit and hitting his pencils off the desk. Reminded me a little bit of a clumsy, high school kid who just hit a growth spurt. He's rolling around. He's trying judo throws. It's not working. But, hey, everyone forgets he did drop the shit out of GM3 at the end of the first round or end of the second round. I can't remember. Almost KO'd him stiff right there on the feet. Almost KO'd him stiff. He's almost got that, just that uncalled for, unaccounted for, unpredictable striking where it's like, whoa, this guy's slow and awkward. Boom! Oh, shit, he's got a big ass on. Bow! Oh, shit. That's what GM3 was thinking to himself. Oh, well, this guy's kind of weird, awkward, slow. Holy shit, I just almost got KO'd. Obviously, on the ground, he's very, very tricky. He's one of those kind of, his body's like gelatin, every bone's made out of cartilage. You just swoop out of this and slide into this and do this and roll around and fucking somersault and swivel the hips and ride with positions, you know what I'm saying? So he's one of those like Mr. Elastic Man, fucking bullshits on the ground. So you kind of look at it. Kevin Holland's supposed to be a striker. He's supposed to win by KO. Has a KO win over Joaquin Buckley. Has a KO win over Jacare Souza. But he hasn't had a KO win in a while. His last win was armbar Mikhail Olashashik. He did knock out Santiago Ponzinibbio. Solid win. But I feel like RDR is way bigger than Ponzinibbio and not as old. I feel like RDR could eat the shot that Ponzinibbio took and not get KO'd. RDR looks like a big motherfucker out there. Like, I know he was fighting a middleweight at one championship, but I think their middleweight's like 200 pounds or 205. It switched or some bullshit. He just looked big out there. I think he could take Kevin Holland's little toothpick arm, punches. I don't think Kevin Holland really has crazy knockout power. It's not like it's Francis Ngannou out there or, Josh Emmett. Like, it's Kevin Holland. He's a little skinny toothpick type of guy. So I don't see him KOing De Ridder. The only way I see Holland winning this fight is by decision if he can shuck the takedowns and cancel out the grappling. If he can avoid the grappling, keep it on the feet, he can outpoint RDR. I don't see him getting the KO. I think RDR's got too good a chin. I think RDR's got that weird, wacky, elastic man striking. He can clip Kevin Holland. Obviously, we know RDR's a better grappler, going to have heavier hips, has fought heavier competition, heavy weights I think he's even fought. I really don't see how I know a lot of people are on the Kevin Holland train. I don't know how Kevin Holland gets this done. I really don't. I think it's going to go to the ground at some point. RDR obviously has the hip control, the hip leverage, the body leverage to pin Kevin Holland down, start going for arm bars, start going for Kimuras, start going for, Darce chokes if he tries to scramble up, guillotines if he starts to scramble up. I think there's so many options for RDR here. I'm going RDR via submission, third round. Kevin Holland's done. He's done. He doesn't have the knockout power at the elite level. He's not an elite grappler. He doesn't have his full heart into it. He's done. He's cooked. Beniel Dariush against Renato Moicano. I cannot afford to lose, brother. I cannot afford to lose. Everybody invest in cryptocurrency. I am the financial team. I read many books for communism. Fuck 'em. And Patty the Batty, you're a little bitch. I fuck you up, brother. Easy money, brother. Renato Moicano, the promo king himself against Mr. fucking Knockout Alert, Beniel Dariush, coming off two brutally epic KOs. Charles Oliveira, that's my daddy. Armin Tsarukyan, oh, what a poppy. I think Beniel Dariush just woke up. He's got more gray hair on his fucking head. And, he's taking another fight. He's getting back in there once again in the fray for Beniel Dariush. I mean, these guys match up great. I think this is going to be a war. I think it's going to be a great fight. Both guys are great on the ground. Both guys are great with transitions. Both guys have a lot of submissions, great jiu-jitsu. Both guys are decent with the striking. I give the edge to Beniel Dariush. I think he's got the knockout power. I think we've seen that in the past. And Renato Moicano has the ground and pound. We just saw that against Benoit Saint-Denis. We just saw that against Benoit. And he's got a lot of good ground and pound. Good hip control. We saw that against Drew Dober when he kept Drew Dober on the floor. We saw that against Jalen Turner when he got dropped but came back in the fight. Started holding Jalen Turner down. He could not get out of the mount and eventually, kind of tapped his strikes pretty much. So I love the fight stylistically. Both guys are kind of a mirror of each other. Both guys are decent strikers. Both guys are great grapplers. Both guys have great stamina. Both guys have a lot of high-level wins. Both guys are experienced. They've been around a while. So, do you go on momentum? Obviously, Money Moicano has the momentum. He's on the win streak. He's beating Jalen Turner. He's beating fucking Benoit Saint-Denis. He's calling out Patty the Batty. He's calling out the top names. Justin Gaethje is on Makhachev. Then you got Beniel Dariush over here talking about retirement. I don't know what's next. If I lose this one, I'm lost. It's such a hard matchup to pick. Both guys are like mirror images of one another. Do you just go solely based on momentum? What if Beniel Dariush has the chip on his shoulder? Like, hey, I'm not losing again. It's such a tough one to call, man. I think I need some juice. I need some juice to figure this out. I think I'm going Renato Moicano. Yeah, I think I'm going to ride with the momentum. I think he's got confidence in himself. I think if he gets hurt, he's not going to give up on himself. We saw that against RDA We saw that against Jalen Turner. We saw that against Drew Dober. I don't think he's going to give up on himself. Beniel Dariush, if he starts getting into bad position, starts eating some of those ground and pound elbows that Money Moicano is known for now, he could start to curl up in a ball. He could start to give up. Hey, I lost twice. I already talked about retirement. Fuck it. I don't want to take any more damage. I think Renato Moicano will fight through that damage, have more heart than Beniel Dariush in this fight. I think he's more vicious with the ground and pound, even though I think Dariush has better hands, boxing-wise, on the feet. I just think Renato Moicano right now has a chip on his shoulder. He's got the momentum, he's got the proper mindset, and he's got the confidence needed to take this one. But I think it's going to be a back-and-forth one. Could be 1-1 going into the third. Maybe Moicano gets the full mount on Dariush, starts unleashing some of those BSD, ground-and-pound elbows. Maybe gets a stoppage, maybe goes to decision, but I'm taking Renato Moicano 29-28 decision. Maybe a split decision, who knows. But I'm going Money Moicano for the win. Let's fucking go, baby. I cannot afford to lose. Jiri Prochazka against Mr. Salty Man himself, Jamahal Hill. Wow, boys. Wow. Wowzers. This could be a main event of any fucking fight night. This could be a main event of any pay-per-view if either one of these guys still had the championship. We just saw Jamahal Hill, Jiri Prochazka main event, or Alex Pereira main event, UFC 300. We saw Jiri Prochazka, Alex Pereira main event, UFC 303. Jiri Prochazka, Alex Pereira main event, UFC 295. So these guys have main evented many pay-per-views. Jamahal Hill, Glover Teixeira. We've seen it. Now we get these two former title holders, two former champions going up in a battle, in a matchup that we wanted to see for a while, ever since they faced off in the crowd 2 years ago, whatever it was at this point, and we're finally getting it. I think Jamahal Hill is finally healthy. He's taken an adequate amount of time off since he got viciously brutalized by Alex Pereira, absolutely slept and bitched and made fun of and memed by Alex Pereira. Same thing with Jiri Prochazka. It's Alex Poatan Pereira's two sons fighting it out for number one son title. Which one does Alex Pereira love most? I love you most, Jamal. I love you most, Jiri, you two fucking cuck asses. Get in there and scrap it out together for who can suck my toes next. That's what I'm getting out of this fight. I'm a huge Jiri Prochazka fan. I fucking love Jiri Prochazka. He's my favorite fighter in the UFC. I love his mentality. I love his fight style. Yes, he has no defense. We all understand he has no defense. That's why we love the guy. Ask Alexander Rakic, Dominic Reyes, Volkan Oezdemir, hey, how'd that no defense do for you? Glover Teixeira, how'd that no defense do for you? Oh, yeah, you all still fucking got KO'd and lost. Every single one of you motherfuckers got stopped. Now we know Jamahal Hill has finishing stoppage ability. Ask Johnny Walker. Ask Ovince St. Preux. Ask Thiago Santos. Almost stopped Glover Teixeira, but didn't. I mean, Thiago Santos was washed. Johnny Walker has the worst chin in UFC history. Ovince St. Preux isn't even with the company anymore. So show me a knockout against Nikita Krylov, Volkan Oezdemir, Makhmed Ankalaev, and I'll be a little more impressed by Jamahal Hill's record. Because right now I'm not too impressed by it. I see a loss to Paul Krieg. I see a loss to Alex Pereira. I see a 5-round war. Yeah, he won the war, but still a war. Bloodied him up, left a scar against Glover Teixeira. Thiago Santos took him to the 4th round. It's not like this guy's a killer, like a Ilia Topuria or a Francis Ngannou. That's not what it is. Jiri Prochazka's got a hell of a chin, if you're not named Alex Pereira. And he's got vicious finishing ability as well. I mean, spinning back fists, spinning back elbows, fucking right hands, ground and pound, vicious right hands. Ask Volkan Oezdemir how that felt, huh? Chokes on the ground. Glover Teixeira. We've never seen Jamahal Hill fucking submit anyone. I think Jiri Prochazka is going to be too tough for Jamahal Hill. This is not Johnny Walker and his flimsy-ass chin. This isn't 43-year-old Glover Teixeira. This isn't washed-up, 2 knee surgeries, Thiago Santos. I think Jamahal Hill is absolutely fucked. I think he's cooked. And he's going to get memed on again. And then what's he going to do? He's going to have a full meltdown on social media, and I'm going to cover everything here on Octagon Jordan. We're putting Jiri Prochazka in the Oct-J Parlay. That's parlay piece number 2. Jiri Prochazka, Oct-J Parlay. Book it. Take a picture. Write it down because we're making some cash. Next up, Merab Dvalishvili against Umar Nurmagomedov. What a fucking scrap we got here. Now, if you look at the odds, I mean, it's fairly kind of, it's kind of nutty. Merab Dvalishvili is on a 10-fight winning streak, or 12-fight. I don't even know exactly. He's beat the likes of Petr Yan. He's beat the likes of Henry Cejudo, Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes, Sugar Sean O'Malley. I mean, he's beaten everyone and anyone that the UFC's put in front of him, other than Ricky Simone. But that's top for another day. And he's the champion, current champion. Has multiple wins in the top 10. I mean, everyone I just named is still in the top 10, top 15. And he's plus 250 against Umar Nurmagomedov, minus 310, who has one ranked win against Corey Sandhagen. His other good wins are Brian Kelleher, Nate Maness, Hani Barcelos, who we touched on earlier, and Azamat Beksak, or whatever, a guy's debut in the UFC. The Beksak fight, he got dropped in that fight. Looked human there. Nate Maness, a snoozer of a decision. Complete snoozer. You guys want to call out Merab Dvalishvili for Jose Aldo fight, having that a snoozer. Well, go check out Umar's fight against Nate Maness. Low-level prelim fight, fucking fell asleep. Blue cock. Now, we all know he knocked out Hani Barcelos, and we know Merab Dvalishvili is a decision merchant. We all understand this. We know Merab gets tagged up in every fight other than the Sugar Sean fight, of course. Obviously, that's how MMA goes. Henry Cejudo can put Merab on skates and wobble his bitch ass, but Sugar Sean can't even connect anything to the head whatsoever. Makes sense. Classic MMA. Hey, Aljo, we neighbors. Can I touch? Hey, do not disrespect. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. Merab Dvalishvili is one of the biggest psychos in the UFC. This guy dove headfirst into a frozen pond and split his fucking watermelon open like it was going out of business. Had to run to the hospital with a turban on just to control the bleeding on his head from diving headfirst into a 2-foot pond. Even if it wasn't frozen, it was 2 feet deep. He's climbing coconut trees in Jamaica. He's holding up big, thick bitches. I mean, this guy is a menace. He's jumping in the crowd. He's slapping people. He's fighting fans. Dennis Bazookia has to come in and have his back. He's yelling at Umar Nurmagomedov. He's trying to fight this and that and this and that. His skits absolutely fucking blow. Who is his production manager? I mean, my girlfriend could do a better job than that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we get it. You have a guy that looks like Sugar Sean. You put a rainbow wig on him, and he's smoking some fake weed. He's smoking a cigarette. Wow. I'm fucking cracking the fuck up. And we know how Merab wins fights. The Petr Yan fight, he won by 70 failed takedowns. If you haven't watched MMA Guru's video on it, go check it out. Merab Dvalishvili, Petr Yan. You will laugh your tits off for days. But he won that fight with 70 failed takedowns, the record for most failed takedowns, most attempted takedowns, and most least amount of actual successful takedowns in a winning effort. Pretty absurd. Jose Aldo, in his retirement fight, decides to hold him up against the fence, Mario Batista style. Knees to the thigh, stomping on the toes, Kamaru Usman alert. Then Jose Aldo whispers to him, hey, I'm retiring. Hey, don't tell anybody. Goes on there, Jose Aldo retiring, and you piece of shit. You piece of shit. Look at my skit. Sugar Sean, big smoker guy. You smoke that weed. Yeah, Joe, can I touch? Umar is stoic. He comes from Habib's camp. Islam Makhachev keeps things pretty docile. Doesn't really get too emotional. Merab, what did I say? What do I say on Twitter? What did I say that disrespectful? All I want is fight. Thank you, Dana, for gift. Thank you for present. Thank you for present, Dana. Anyway, what's my prediction here? I think it's going to be a good fight. I know a lot of people are picking Umar Nurmagomedov. to steamroll Merab Dvalishvili 4-1. That's kind of been the consensus that I've been hearing. A lot of the opinions out there are, 49-45 or 49-46, excuse me, for Umar. Hold on. I'm going to predict Umar by a 1-round victory, 48-47. But I would not be surprised if Merab has a better gas tank than Umar Nurmagomedov. We haven't seen Umar over 5 rounds other than the Corey Sandhagen. But Corey Sandhagen doesn't have the pressure, the stamina, the in-your-face style that Merab Dvalishvili has. So he really didn't push Umar to that next level, those deep waters. So my official pick is Umar by 48-47. Close, maybe even controversial decision. But I could also see Merab gassing him out, winning one of the first 3 rounds, and then taking round 4 and round 5 with control, top control, some pitter-patter shots of the year, some little fake-ass, bullshit-ass ground and pound, maybe holding him up against the fence, and potentially taking a decision himself. I don't see any stoppage happening here. The only way I see a stoppage is if Umar Nurmagomedov gets a submission, which is live. He's got a lot of chokes. He's got a lot of submissions. Merab does not. So the only way I see a stoppage is Umar submission. But I think Merab is live for an upset. I think plus 250 is completely disrespectful. I would think Merab would be like a plus 160, a plus 175. Umar a minus 225, somewhere in that range. But the official Oct-J pick is Umar Nurmagomedov by 48-47 decision. Main event. First main event of 2025. Let's get it. First pay-per-view main event, I should say. God, I'm horned up. I'm fucking juiced, boys. I'm juiced to the gills for this shit. I'm going to get some liquor. I'm going to watch this shit. I'm going to bet. Maybe have some sex afterwards. No one's coming over. I can't have anybody over on these big pay-per-view fight nights, A lot of my boys are kind of casual fans. They're eating chips. They're on their phones. They're looking at memes. Who's this guy? Oh, he looks good. They don't know, bro. I'm like locked in. I'm like, dude, this is Arman Tsarukyan. This is Merab Dvalishvili. This is Reinier de Ridder. This is Kevin Holland, bro. This is Jiri Prochazka. This isn't just like, who's this guy? Jiri Prochazka. Pretty weird. What's that fucking ponytail he's got? What a freak. No, it just pisses me off, and the casualness, I can't be around it. So it's just going to be me and my girlfriend. She's going to be on her phone, on TikTok, fucking around, not even paying attention, and your boy's going to be locked the fuck in. Locked in. Anyway, Makhachev. Arman Tsarukyan. Finally, we get a fucking champion versus number 1 contender. This is going to be a good one. Now, do I think this will be the most exciting fight in the world? No. Do I think it'll be as exciting as Islam versus Dustin Poirier? No. I think it's going to be a chess match. Similar to the Arman Tsarukyan Matej Gamrot fight. I could see that, which a lot of people praise that fight. A lot of people love that fight. I could see something similar happening here. Kind of a back and forth, grapplers, the light, switching positions. One guy's on top. He's attempting a submission. Other guy scrambles out. Maybe a little ground and pound. They get back on the feet. They strike for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Islam hits a shot. Arman Tsarukyan goes for the takedown. Arman hits a punch on Islam. He goes for the takedown. Body lock trips. Judo throws. Piotr Yan rolling thunder trips, behind the back trips, Imanari's, every fucking thing. Whatever Joe Rogan was calling Piotr Yan's trip against Davis and Figueiredo. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was some wacky, fucking crazy Asian, whatever name. It was crazy. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's how I see this fight going. I don't think either man's going to dominate. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting matchup for casual fans. I think us hardcore fans that know what we're looking at and know these guys' journeys and know that they fought before, this is actually a rematch. Kind of similar to the Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards. They fought early in their career. It was a very close fight. Islam Makhachev won by decision, similar to Usman beating Edwards by decision. Multiple years later, the guys fight again. Completely different fighters. A lot older, a lot more experience. For a title, 5 rounds on a pay-per-view. Yeah, I see it being a very, very close fight. I could see Islam Makhachev edging out most of the rounds. I think in the end, I think he'll get the most positional dominance. I think Arman might have a reversal here and there, get a takedown here and there, but I think Islam's going to control most of the rounds, have some good reversals. He really knows what he's doing with the Dagestani handcuff, how to keep control, how to keep top control. And Islam's better on the feet. He's a better striker. We saw that against Dustin Poirier. We saw that against Charles Oliveira when he hurt Oliveira. We saw that against Alexander Volkanovski in the first and second fight. He was touching up Volk in the first fight, and he KO'd him in the second fight. So Islam Makhachev's striking is definitely underrated. Arman Tsarukyan, I know he has the KO over Beniel Dariush. He also got touched up by Joaquim Silva, almost got stopped there. Most of his wins come from the ground. The Joel Alvarez, the Joaquim Silva, those were ground and pound. I don't see that happening with Islam Makhachev. I don't think Arman Tsarukyan's going to have heavy enough hips to keep Makhachev down in full mount and just rain down ground and pound. Just don't see it happening. I don't think Arman's going to be able to sub Islam Makhachev. So what's the route to victory for Arman Tsarukyan? I don't see him getting the KO. Definitely not. I don't see him getting a submission. Do I see him winning 3 rounds? It's possible. I mean, he's in shape. He's shredded to the gills. He's young. He's athletic. He's hungry. He's fought Islam Makhachev before. He knows what he feels like. He knows what techniques he likes. It's definitely possible for Arman to win by decision. But I'm picking Islam Makhachev. And just to get the odds down, I'm going to go Islam Makhachev by submission, 4th round Darce choke. We saw Charles Oliveira almost lock up a couple submissions on Arman Tsarukyan. The guillotine, we saw the Darce. And I think Islam Makhachev, I think Arman's going to get tired wrestling first 3 rounds. I think in the 4th round, Islam's going to still be fresh. And I think he's going to get a Darce choke submission on Arman Tsarukyan. Give me Islam Makhachev by submission for the 3rd leg of the Oct-J Parlay. Let's go! We're baby! Islam Makhachev retains the gold. Most lightweight title fight defenses. And he's moving up to fight Bilal. Fuck you, Bilal. You little tick. So just to go over it one more time, Oct-J Parlay. We got Islam Makhachev by submission. We got Jiri Prochazka. And we got Carlos Diego Ferreira. Carlos Diego Ferreira plus 215. Jiri Prochazka plus 100. And Islam Makhachev prop play via submission. That's going to give you at least plus 600, plus 700. Put 100 on it, win 700. Take your girl out, have some sex, drink some wine, watch some replays, and continue to tune in to Octagon Jordan. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. I love South Africa. Jijkes tu plezier. Auschwitz. Huliwitz. Auschwitz. Huliwitz. Whatever the fuck. I'm just happy that UFC pay-per-views are back. They're back in our lives. We got title fights. We're in LA. Kobe Bryant, the land of Kobe Bryant. And you guys are supporting me now like never before. So continue the love. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Leave a comment if you agree with my picks. If you're riding the Oct-J Parlay. If you're fading the Oct-J Parlay, hey, so be it. We'll let the best man win. Okay? Good luck, Chug, and down the hatch.